going on, Jerome's? So, of course, small sample size, but it just seems like Jonathan James McCarthy is the most hated on, over scrutinized, and over criticized quarterback in National Football League history, right? Now, I understand, like, a lot of pressure on him. You know, the Vikings roster revved up, ready to go. And McCarthy had some extremely high moments, absolute clutch when you need it to happen, but sometimes just misses a 2-yard check down by 10 yards. It happens, man. And also, all the haters and the losers who never believed McCarthy at Michigan, never believed him in the draft, wanted someone else in the draft in 2024, wanted to keep Sam Darnold. Oh, what about Daniel Jones? Oh, what about Aaron Rodgers? There's so much second guessing going on right now. And like we said, small sample size, so there's not a lot to go off of. Right, so everyone's freaking out with the ups and the downs, but I still believe that Jonathan James McCarthy is going to lead this Vikings team to a dozen Jerome Bardys in the next 10 years when the cement dries. Something like that, right? Because, again, you've seen the heights. You've seen the tools. Mechanics, that has to improve. And guess who is going to be breaking down and teaching those mechanics? The certified quarterback whisperer himself. Remember, this is the quarterback that Kwesi and Kevin O'Connell chose, and this is the path that they decided to take, as opposed to Darnold, Jones, Aaron Rodgers, etc. So I believe. And finally, we get a rational JJ McCarthy take in the national media, right? Because a lot of them are just piling on, whether it's Cowturd, whether it's Stephen A. Smith, whether it's football writer du jour. They just love. It's almost like a derangement syndrome with JJ McCarthy. They just love ripping on nine. Of course, we know that the national media always has their thumb down on the scale for the Vikings as it is. By the way, my thumb's getting better. It's just black. Yeah. But Brett Kollmann, a guru poobah of the film, really respect his work, and he had a very rational take about the whole JJ McCarthy situation, and not so much JJ particularly, but the quarterback franchises, growing young quarterbacks writ large, right? So he said this: just remember, when you're watching young quarterbacks around the league right now, particularly the ones that are struggling, this is an entirely new sport for them. Time cannot guarantee that they will develop, but I'll tell you this much: swapping out one young, overwhelmed quarterback for another young, overwhelmed quarterback probably will not produce the results. You think it will, unless you draft Drake May. Basically, that's it. Drake May is a trump card, and the AI misspelled Drake May. Actually, it initially came up as Rick May. So who's that, right? But the Vikings should trade up for Drake May. The Patriots were never trading down, absent 4 first-round picks. And if Kwesi made that trade, you would have said that he should have been fired. And then Drake May, first incompletion, boo. I don't think Vikings fandom would have survived Drake May's rookie season. But yeah. That's kind of the exception. Look, my point is the grass is not always greener on the other side, but it is greener where you water it. So if you have a young passer that shows flashes of brilliance in between the boneheaded mistakes, we've seen the flashes of brilliance, which is so funny. Like, I feel like people just ignore, the fourth quarter of the Bears game, the heroics and the Lions game, just like, these never happen. And also, the go-ahead drive against the Bears in the second game, where, again, would you like a better first 3 quarters? Yes. But focusing on that versus what matters in crunch time, and also some of the dimes that he's dropped downfield, everything else will sort itself out. You know why? Because we got Kevin O'Connell, right? We have the quarterback whisperer with perhaps his greatest potential student, just a pure ball of clay and raw talent. That's what it is, man. Maybe don't be so quick to move off him, okay? Maybe just water your damn lawn. Is that so hard? That's right. Hey, I understand. The Vikings have not had their own homegrown franchise quarterback in quite some time, and you're going to take the ups and the downs. But the Vikings are all in on the Super Bowl this year. We broke down the cap situation for next year. Yes, they're minus 37, but the Vikings can easily get underneath the cap. They can keep the guys that they want, and they can still be players in free agency. Like we said, this is a 3-year Super Bowl window with McCarthy on the remnants of his rookie deal before the 5th-year option kicks in. So the Vikings have 3 years of cap to surround him with talent, which is what they're doing right now. By the way, this season is not lost. Obviously, it's a tough road to hoe, but the Vikings certainly have the ability to get hot because, like we said, hey, you're saying that this is a Super Bowl caliber roster. All of the national media, Jabronis, are now backtracking and rewriting history so that they could throw another brick at JJ McCarthy. Well, it's a Super Bowl caliber roster. The quarterback's struggling. Well, if so, that roster just got the healthiest it's been all year. JJ McCarthy is now wearing a bandage on his hand, and now we're sufficiently pissed off to go up to Appleton adjacent, burned to the ground. Same thing with Capitol Hill and Seattle. Well, stadium's in like Chinatown in Seattle, but doesn't matter. Does not matter, right? The season is not lost. Like, even if they don't make the playoffs, do not care. We need to see the progression of Jonathan James McCarthy. All these reps, all these games matter, right? And buckle up. And I know the Vikings fans and a lot of the national media is like, oh, they need to draft someone. Oh, they need to bring in Mac Jones. I don't think so. Like, yeah, they'll probably bring in a veteran quarterback, but it won't be one to compete with JJ McCarthy. And also, it's not going to be like, get Mendoza. You're probably going to get sick of hearing that before the draft season's over, but that's from The Simpsons. Rainier Wolfcastle. It's great. Actually, it's like 4 or 5 different clips, and if you put them together, it's a coherent story that they sprinkle in. Simpsons used to be good. What happened, man? Anyways, but this is probably the first like truly rational take that I've seen. And props to Kollmann for speaking truth to power because, yeah, how do young quarterbacks get reps and get better? They get reps and they get better, right? And you've seen teams give up on quarterbacks way too soon, whether it's Darnold, whether it's Mayfield, whether it's whoever. So buckle up, Buttercup, because, again, we've seen the heights. We've seen what he can scale to. Maybe he's low ceiling, or maybe he's high ceiling, low floor right now, Freudian slip. But guess what? The high ceiling is so high. And this is what Kevin O'Connell, this is what Kwesi bet on. So cement, a little bit wet right now, as am I. But eventually, that cement will get hard as well. Sorry. Anyways, your thoughts are thoughts. Finally, a rational JJ McCarthy take from a national media jabroni haircut. It's good. It's good stuff by Kollmann. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skol, production value.